What's good, my branch life people? It's your boy Joey coming at you from the garage. Just wanted to make a quick video today. I had a little bit of a mask wearing incident. I had a couple demons tell me that I need to wear a mask. And it's so funny because I find it so ironic. I was at a establishment called Half Price Books, purchasing Civil Disobedience by Henry David Thoreau and Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes. And, trying to get some gravy, trying to educate myself. But I just, found it really ironic that as I'm purchasing these books about my rights as an American citizen, not as a citizen of the corporation of the United States, I have rights that cannot be infringed upon. And one of those is wearing a mask. I kind of went into the establishment knowing that there was potentially going to be some pushback on me. So I was just, let me just get in the door. I'm doing some day walking. I got to get these books in and out. So I had it, kind of like chin strapped. So I walked in, it was beneath, had it, my nose was uncovered. So then when I got to the section, just to get in, I got a day walk. There's hardly anybody in the stores. Mid-afternoon, I'm between clients. Actually heading back to the studio in a bit. But so while I was in my section, I'm not going to wear it. There's nobody in my vicinity, so I shouldn't be concerned about any type of invisible virus. So pretty much had it off while I was in the store. When I went to go pay, then I went ahead and put it, over my face or over my mouth so I could still kind of breathe. And even, I'm not accustomed to wearing masks. I run my own business, so in my business, I choose not to wear a mask. I've done enough research, gathered enough information where I personally feel comfortable with not having to wear a mask. I realize that the mask isn't going to do much when it comes to preventing you from getting an invisible virus. I was listening to Dr. Shiva just basically give the example of the coronavirus. Wearing a mask is like a chain link fence preventing a mosquito from getting through the other side. It's submicroscopic, so I'm comfortable not wearing a mask. There's, I want to say, an older woman, probably boomer age, behind the plexiglass, and there's another woman making her purchase, and they're making small talk about how is there a coin shortage, blah, 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 and then they're like, that's crazy. And in my head, I'm like, you find that there being a coin shortage is crazy, but the fact that you have to wear a diaper on your face is not crazy? Like, where the cognitive dissonance, it's like, both of those things are crazy, right? So, I'm waiting for the lady to finish paying, and I can tell the lady's already eyeballing me because I don't have the mask fully covered on my face. And said I was already struggling to breathe because I'm not accustomed to having to wear the mask on my face. We start my transaction, she starts ringing it up, she looks at me, is like, you need to cover your nose. And I was like, no, I don't. And she's like, you need to cover your face. And I'm like, I can't breathe if I cover my face. I'm trying to do my best here, but I cannot breathe with this mask on. And she's like, you can breathe. Like, I see the anger in her eyes try to bulge, and I was like, I can't. And how can you tell me that I can breathe? You're not inside my body. And so she's like, well, if I have to wear it for 8 hours, you have to wear it. And I was like, I don't have to do anything you say, woman. I was like, you are consenting and you are choosing to wear that. And then she points to the side on the window and she's like, it is a law. By law, you have to wear it. And I was like, that's not my law. And she's like, you have to wear it. And then some other guy, probably late 30s, early 40s, obese man, probably watches a lot of anime, comes up to me, and then he tells me, this is private property. We can tell you to leave. And I'm like, first off, you can't, because this is not private property. This is public accommodations. And this is where I want you to realize that you can protect yourself. You will probably be discriminated against, but know your rights so that you can confront these people in a knowledgeable way where you can make a difference and hopefully get them to think which I doubt they're possible of doing, of critically thinking, but that's here nor there. But that gentleman was incorrect. He came over, telling me, we can ask you to leave. This is private property. And I responded with, no, it is not private property. This is public accommodations. And what is a public accommodation, you may ask? A public accommodation is an entity like a grocery store, a hotel, a gas station, anything that there is a transaction being made. So that no longer makes you private. And it is technically against the law. This is law in writing under the U.S. Constitution, under your civil rights, that they cannot discriminate against you. And I wrote down exactly what they cannot do. They cannot discriminate against you by law, but they will, and it is against your civil rights. You can be in there without a mask because you cannot breathe. It is against your religion, or they can't discriminate against you for race or ethnicity. And I want people to know this, that these people that are out here telling you this is private property, you can call the police, let them, and then you can go through and tell them, well, under 42 U.S. Code 2008, there is a prohibition against discrimination or segregation in places of public accommodation. And if you then felt you were accosted enough and it is worth your time, then you can go and make and file a complaint with the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice or with the United States Attorney in your area. So inform yourself of your rights. Do not let yourself be bullied. Do not let yourself be ganged up upon. Know your rights and walk, because my laws are the laws of God, not the laws of some overpaid, obese man in a suit telling you that this is how you need to live your life and you need to adhere it. Those are not my laws. That man was not placed there by God. 2 Peter is going to get thrown in there and be like, well, you need to listen to him because he is in a place of authority. He is a governor. He is over you. And I can honestly say, no, he's not, because he was not placed there by God. He was not placed there by God. And my laws come from God. So it was really just interesting. And like I said, ironic. I mean, the universe is so funny. Civil disobedience. And I was like, look, man, just ring me up. And there won't be an issue. I can't breathe. And you can't tell me that I can breathe in this mask. You are not inside my body. And the fact that you consent to it, that is your issue to deal with. If you do not want to be in a mask for 8 hours, then find a different place of employment or go to your bosses and be, because of medical conditions, I cannot wear a mask. And you, as a healthy American, should have the right to shop anywhere that is a public accommodation and not be accosted and not have to be ganged up on. And so once that started, I took off my mask, finished the transaction, and told them, you are incorrect. This is not private property. And all of you in here are brainwashed. And if you want to be brainwashed, that is your prerogative. But I am not brainwashed. And I have the rights that were given to me, one by God, two by the Constitution of the United States of America. Not the corporation of America, which they're trying to turn this country into a giant corporation. So I would suggest you guys head out and check out this channel called The Healthy American by this lady, Peggy Hall. She seems awesome. I just recently discovered her through a different channel, but she has some really great information where she does dive into the legalities of not having to wear a mask, not having to comply, and let these people know that this is not private property. The minute that you opened up this establishment to provide services, to sell goods, to transact, this is now a public accommodation, and you cannot kick me out or you cannot get me arrested for, for trespassing on private property. And like I said, I got my books. And this is another great book that I want to read into. It's about Thomas Hobbes and, actually, hold on. As always, I don't have my notes, but it kind of deals with the matter of form and power of a commonwealth and ecclesiastical and civil law. Thomas Hobbes was around He was born 1588 and passed away 1679. So, I mean, we're going back a couple hundred years, but the way that they are trying to shift this country from a republic mindset to a corporate, socialist, communistic, admiralty law-based country is wrong and unconstitutional, and they have no rights to do that. And know your rights, and know that you are protected by your civil liberties. And you can file a complaint. If this gets into a situation that got really out of hand, you can file a complaint with the Department of Justice, and that establishment can be looked into. And these stores that say, well, this is our policy, we'll let them know that then you can make a policy to let me shop as a healthy American freely and openly in the store without being antagonized, without being threatened, without being ganged up on. And I hope that a couple other customers that were in there heard me and saw that you have your rights. You do not have to wear a mask if you do not feel comfortable, if you cannot breathe. That is a medical condition. You need oxygen to breathe. I'm not accustomed to wearing the mask, so even a couple minutes, I'm already breathing heavy. And I'm not going to put my health in jeopardy as a healthy person right now because these other people are too busy watching the fear porn, watching the anime porn, watching all the porn and want to squirt and are scared to leave their house. I need to live my life to the best of my abilities under the will of God. And I can't sit back and be scared to go out in public or be scared to be ostracized or look like I'm a crazy person when I'm not. I am the most sane person. Like, if you think it's normal that you have to wear a diaper on your face, that coins are disappearing, that this invisible enemy is going to get you and going to kill you, then you need to take a really hard, long look in the mirror and look at yourself as a man and be like, what kind of man am I? What kind of example am I setting to my wife, my children, all of that? Like I said, I'm a business owner. I've had to start making some tough decisions as to, what's it worth? Is it worth my health and my ability to live freely without having to wear a mask? Or am I going to cuck to, well, I want money and I may lose out on some clients because I tell them, like, I don't feel comfortable wearing a mask. It's affecting my health. And that's the type of decisions I have to make. And these are the type of decisions us as individuals, we are going to have to make. Like, what sacrifices are we willing to take? I am willing to lose out on money for my overall mental health, physical health, and well-being. If these people are comfortable coming to my establishment and don't want to wear a mask or are comfortable with me not wearing a mask, then we can do business. If you don't feel comfortable, then I respect your decision. There's other businesses then that you can go to where, you will be temperature checked, you will be separated by plexiglass, you will have the mask, you will have the face coverings, you will have the gloves, you will have all that precautionary nonsense for an invisible virus. And that's totally, it's your right to do that as an American. And I myself consider myself to be an autonomous individual. And you may ask, what is an autonomous person? And that's, for me, like I said, I'm really looking into this because I want to protect myself and my rights. And as a person, I am autonomous. I stand alone, not subject to an external rule, and the full right to make my own decisions. To a state, it applies a lack of connection with any other power. It cannot interfere with your God-given rights. It cannot be connected to a federal government to interfere in the citizens' laws or policies. States need to become autonomous. We are not states, but colonies. We are attached to the federal government, the imperial power of this land. As an illegitimate government, we are not subjects. We are citizens. Each state should have complete control over its own domain and sphere and be able to set its own laws separate from what the federal government says. They should also have their own separate armed and sovereign armed services, whether it be a militia, National Guard, you have the right as a state to protect yourself. from a tyrannical federal government that is trying to intrude on you through admiralty laws. So remember that as an autonomous person, the only person's laws or rules that you should feel that you follow are the laws of God, the Holy One, the Most High. And that's it. Nobody else. I'm an autonomous person, and that is who I believe my laws that I'm willing to follow are the laws of God. So anyways, with that, go do your homework. Go study yourself to be approved. Do not be scared. Realize that you're going to have to make sacrifices. We're all going to have to make sacrifices if we want things to change. If we want to end the tyranny, if we want to end the loss of our liberties and freedom, then we have to make sacrifices and be okay with that, and learn to disobey civilly. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying my best to share that with you guys. But again, go check out The Healthy American and Peggy Hall's videos. Are quick, 5 minutes, really great, insightful information. And we can all do our part to end this nonsense. So with that, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a blessed day.